Some of us know who we want to be, what we want to be, and what we want to become. And some of us don't. The path before us isn't always clear. There is no how-to manual for this life. For many of us, this here is the starting line. Yet, once we start, we come to realize that we're never really finished, that there is always a next step, always someplace new to go, another idea to chase, another barrier to break. There is always something more. It's here, at Providence, where the university experience comes alive. It's a school where Christian tradition meets academic innovation. It's a community where passion ignites creativity. It's an education that develops leaders to make a difference in this world. It's here at Providence, where your faith is ignited, where your dreams are clarified, where you begin to shape the future. It's here at Providence where classroom life comes alive as you hear new ideas and are exposed to new ways of thinking. It's here at Providence where residents becomes family and teachers become mentors. It's here at Providence where you'll be challenged to serve others, to be generous, to take up your cross, and to follow Christ. Your story starts here at Providence.
Hi everyone, welcome to Preview Prov. My name is Jamie and I'm one of the enrollment officers here at Providence.
And my name is Cyrus and I'm the recruitment specialist.
We will be your hosts this morning, walking you through the exciting sessions we have planned and helping you to envision your Providence journey.
We are so excited to be able to host Preview Prov virtually this year and have you join us from the comfort of your own home and not even have to change out of your pajamas. Now, what is Preview Prov exactly? Basically, it gives you a chance to experience what life is like as a student at Providence, allowing you to get an inside look and be better informed so that you can make a decision about your post-secondary future.
We have lots of exciting things planned for you today, but before we dive in, we want to share with you what Providence is all about. Providence is interdenominational and Christ-centered. We are located on a beautiful 100-acre rural campus in Otterburn, Manitoba, and have a student body of around 300 students, which makes for small class sizes and a very close community.
At Providence, we not only want to invest in giving you a quality education, but also help you grow in your faith. We want to see you succeed both in the classroom and the real world, helping you to grow in knowledge and character for leadership and service. Part of what we love about Preview Prov is being able to learn about how you heard about Providence. Was it through a friend, a current student, or maybe even our sports program? Feel free to comment below your name and how you heard about Prov, as we would love the opportunity to get to know you better.
We have so many amazing things planned for you today. We will start the day with an information session that we hope gives you a better picture of what your time at Providence will look like. Next, we are going to take you on a campus tour, giving you the opportunity to see our campus. We will then end the morning by walking you through how to find a program that fits your career goals.
In the afternoon, it will be a choose your own adventure, where you can attend the sessions that interest you the most. We will then end the day with a Q&A, where any questions that you've had that weren't answered can be asked. You can also use the chat features to ask any questions you have this morning. And to top it off, we will also be giving a $500 bursary away, so stay tuned for more info on how to enter to win.
Now that we know what the day will hold, we will move into the information session hosted by Dustin, one of our enrollment officers, who will walk us through what makes a Providence education unique. Fun fact, on top of being an alumni of Providence, Dustin is also the assistant coach of the women's soccer team. Take it away, Dustin.
Hi, my name is Dustin Martin, and I'm one of the enrollment officers here at Providence University College. I'm so excited that you're here to learn a little bit more about what Prov has to offer, and I hope throughout this info session I can help answer some of your questions. And I want to say, of course, if you ever have any things that you are interested in, or you had questions that weren't answered in this session, please feel free to reach out to us at info@prov.ca. So to introduce myself a little bit further, I am actually an alumni of Providence. I've worked in the enrollment department for 3 years, and I also have the distinct pleasure of also acting as one of the coaches for the soccer team. So first and foremost, I want to say welcome to Providence. I mean, certainly we are a university, but in addition to that, I really feel that Providence is a community. And as a community, we want to make sure that you feel welcome right from day one. So you can see here, we have some of our students dressed in orange, and that's because they represent House Taylor. Now, one of the things that we do to help our students really get connected with fellow peers and just the community in general is every one of our students is placed into a house as soon as they're accepted. So each of these 4 houses are named after significant figures in Providence's history. You can see here Taylor, Blackett, Moody, and Jansen. And also what this does is this sorts you into teams for the year-long competition for the Bergen Cup. So these are competitions like bubble soccer, could be archery tag, scavenger hunts, quiz nights, and a lot of other fun events that I won't quite spoil until you're a student here. But the idea is that you get to really connect with this specific group of individuals, and it's a way that you can kind of make friendships a little bit quicker. So now, I'm sure most of you have some idea where Providence is, but if you're tuning in from perhaps another province or even another country, here's a quick look at our campus. As you can see, what you're looking at here is sort of our main building, which houses the majority of our classrooms, the gym, the library, and a lot of other offices that are for support staff and things like that. Now, in terms of a map, if you like visuals like myself, we are about 30 to 45 minutes directly south of Manitoba's capital, Winnipeg. Myself, I live in Winnipeg, and for me, being on the south end of the city, it's about 30 minutes. So it's pretty close. We're situated in between a couple of smaller centers like Niverville, St. Pierre, and Steinbach. Now, actually, for our campus, we have a really cool, quick little video just to show you some overviews if you wanted to get a good visual sense of where all the buildings are and some of the scenery that we have, which we can play right now. Okay, welcome back. So like I say, it was a really quick video, but hopefully it helped give you a little bit of a sense of what the Providence campus looks like. And of course, as you can see, it's absolutely beautiful. So being 35 minutes outside the city, we're located on a beautiful 100-acre campus that's actually riverfront property. So of course we have walking trails, we have a forest, we have our own ice rink, and lots more. But the idea being that just outside the city, you're free from a lot of distractions in a lot of ways. But also being just 30 minutes to the city, if you ever need to run in to do some shopping, maybe watch a movie or anything like that, it's really quick and easy to get to. So being just outside the city, one of the key features of a Providence education is the fact that we offer a really robust residence program here. And so not only residence, but of course residence as well as food in the cafeteria, of course. Now I gotta say, when I say cafeteria, I know that conjures up a lot of pretty negative images of stale fish sticks and mystery meat Mondays and that sort of thing. But I have to say the Providence cafeteria is awesome. I compare it to much more of like a home-cooked mall food court, in that you have your salad bar, you have fresh stir-fry stations, pizza, Subway-style design your own sandwich, And of course, all you can drink chocolate milk and ice cream. So it's pretty amazing. But one of the key features of the residence program, as you can imagine, is the people that you're actually living with. Now you can see here, this slide just sort of demonstrates that every freshman incoming to Prov is assigned a roommate. I know a lot of people kind of grumble because maybe you're sharing a room with a brother or a sister and you're looking to strike out on your own. But I have to say we do this for a couple of important reasons. First of all, we don't just stick you with some random person we draw out of a hat, but throughout the application process, we actually collect a lot of information about you. So this is a residence information form and is kind of the world's easiest quiz on yourself. So what kind of shows are you watching on Netflix? What music do you like to listen to? Are you an early bird or a night owl? Are you messy or are you one of the very clean people in this world? All this information to make sure that we're going to pair you with somebody that you get along really well with. Another benefit is that we usually try to pair you with somebody who's actually studying the same thing as you, so that right from day one, you have somebody to go to a lot of the same classes with, study for the same exams for, work on projects together. Basically, it's kind of like having an automatic friend from day one. Now, personally, when I first came out to Providence, I came all the way from BC. And so I was really grateful to have my roommate, and like I say, somebody kind of like a friend right away here. I would be completely remiss if I didn't mention the fact that we at Providence are really lucky and very fortunate to have just built a brand new residence building. It's called Muriel Taylor Hall, and the top 2 floors are student residences and brand new, very beautiful. But the bottom floor is one of the things I'm particularly excited about because it is a full-purpose student center. So this includes like study rooms, classrooms, a sanctuary, completely free laundry services, always really nice as a student, as well as, the other important things about being a university student, like the ping pong table, the TVs, the comfy couches, these sorts of things, as well as a fully functional double kitchen. Now, for those students who maybe late at night want to bake some cookies just to get the energy up for studying for an exam, or if you want to just perhaps bring one of your favorite recipes from home and share it with some of your friends, you can do that in the Providence kitchen. I also know that we host fun events like Learn to Bake Bread Nights, which actually was very popular. Slots filled up really quickly and we had to actually do a second night of it. But this is just one of those ways that at Providence, we want to make sure that students are equipped for life after university. Now, unlike myself, who once I graduated, I knew how to boil an egg and I knew how to make a bowl of cereal. So we want to make sure that you are more prepared than me when I graduated Providence a while back. Okay, so this is where Providence is and a little bit of an idea of what you could expect. But here's who we really are. As you can see, we're a student body size of around 300 students, plus or minus. But what this should tell you is that we're a small school and a tight-knit community. We are first and foremost an interdenominational, Christ-centered university. So that means Christ is at the center of every aspect of the school. We are indeed a rural campus, which I've already mentioned, and you've hopefully been able to see from the video. And being a smaller school, one of the great benefits that we offer our students are small class sizes. So your average class size will be roughly between 14 and 16 other students, which is pretty awesome. I say it's a lot of great things for students. And the only drawback is that if you skip class or sleep in, your professor definitely is going to notice that you're not there. And even when you're in your 3rd or 4th year classes, like myself in English literature, you can be in a class size as small as 6 students, in which case I like to say is basically like a tutor with a PhD program. It's an educational experience unlike any you'll really experience, and is pretty fantastic. So I've already kind of mentioned that there's a high faculty interaction with your students. And so what I kind of mean by this is they're not just going to know you by your student number, but they're actually going to know your name. They're going to know what you're interested in and passionate about, what your goals and your dreams are. And because they know you, they're able to actually really much better help guide you and help you achieve those dreams. one of the stories I like to say that I think really demonstrates how much our faculty really care for our students was one of my colleagues. At the summer after she graduated, she was set to get married. Now her psychology professor flew back just for the wedding in the summer, all the way from his home country in Africa. Flew back for just a short amount of time just to support one of his students. And that to me is just Providence faculty kind of wrapped up in a very concise nutshell. And one of the things you might not think about, but should also expect at Providence, is the fact that there's a lot of opportunity to really get involved in the community, be it on leadership, student council, planning fun events, joining the choir, one-act plays, intramurals, talent shows. It just goes on and on. But see, the thing is, like, you don't necessarily have to participate in all these things, but the opportunities are boundless while you're here. So, I mean, these are all well and good, but I think it might be helpful if I actually shared a little bit of my story and why I decided to come to Providence. So, as I mentioned, I was coming to Providence all the way from BC. I get asked a lot of times, why would you ever leave BC to come to Manitoba? But I had my priorities. For one thing, I wanted to, for at least 1 year, study somewhere else and get a little bit of independence. And so Manitoba was a great place to do that. Another important thing was at Providence, I could study what I wanted to, which was English literature. They actually have a really fantastic program and did back then. And so I was really excited to learn from those professors. Another thing that was important to me was my faith, and the fact that Providence was a Christian university where I could learn more about the Bible and actually grow in my faith was a huge benefit. Not gonna lie too, playing on the soccer team was also really, really important to me, and the fact that Providence's soccer team had lots of travel opportunities was also pretty appealing to me. And another thing, one of my priorities was that I could keep practicing speaking French. I'd taken French in grade 11 and grade 12, and because Providence was located near a small French-speaking community, I was certain that this would be an amazing opportunity to be absolutely fluent in a year. That being said, I told my family, my friends, and even myself that I'm still only going to go to Providence for just a year and then go back home to BC. Well, I was wrong. I ended up staying for my entire 3 years, and as you can see now, I work here very happily. So these are the reasons why I decided to stay at Providence. I knew I had to stay at Providence, and first and foremost, as I've talked about, I found a community that immediately made me feel at home. I mean, once you graduate, and especially going to a post-secondary institution, there's a lot of transitions and a lot of changes. And as ready as I was for those changes, it was still pretty intimidating for me to move provinces away from my family to a place where I knew absolutely no one. But I mean, the guys that I lived with in dorm, and even from the first moment I drove up to the front of the dorm to get moved in, I had people swarming my car saying, "Hey, you must be Dustin, welcome here." My roommate had even prepared a welcome package of like Coca-Cola, a bag of Skittles, and some popcorn just to make me feel at home. And you know what? It didn't stop after day one. It just continued on throughout my entire time at Providence. And so it was a place that made me feel at home, even though I was provinces away. Not only that, but I was challenged to actually engage with and grow in my faith through a number of different aspects of the Providence education. Importantly too, I was supported in such a way that I could actually grow. I wasn't just asking questions and floundering, but I was actually guided by spiritual mentors and professors. Like I said, the opportunities to really get involved in the community was something that I didn't necessarily know I wanted, but was so happy I had the opportunity for at Providence. So I was also involved in student council, different committees, and even some of my most memorable memories, I guess you could say, from Providence were like just joining in a late night Iron Chef bake-off competition, things like that. It was an environment where I could actually discover some new passions as well. Like I said, I wanted to study English literature, but it wasn't until one of my professors recommended that I take an Intro to Sociology course that I even considered it. I mean, I had no idea what sociology was, but it only took one lecture. It was the very first lecture, and I knew this was something that I wanted to make my discipline, and I had to keep studying. So I ended up changing my degree from just an English literature major to actually a double major. And I had no idea that this was going to be a passion of mine until one of my professors helped guide me towards it. And as you can imagine, I mean, the friendships. Really, it was the people at Providence that made me want to keep coming back year after year and to stay involved. Now, I'm going to date myself a little bit, but it's been 11 years since I was a student at Providence. But I can confidently say that some of the guys that I lived with in dorm, played soccer with on the soccer team all those years ago, these are still my best friends to this day. I kind of joke and I say they can't get rid of me. It's also really, really incredible to see now too that all of our wives are really good friends and that our kids are going to be able to grow up together. But it's these lifelong friendships that, like I say, you can really, really expect at Providence. So now, Providence was the right fit for me, and I kind of explained some of the reasons why. But these are just some things that I think would be good for you to question in yourself and maybe ask yourself. First of all, like, are you interested in a small university experience where you're going to, know a lot more people? I mean, Providence is also a very, very safe, peaceful, and rural campus. So as I say, with 100 acres of surrounded by beautiful farmland just outside the city, like I say, free of distractions, it's a very safe community. Is being part of a Christian academic community important to you? So like I say, being a Christ-centered institution, all of our degrees are indeed accredited. But that being said too, they're also taught by Christian professors who are strong in their faith. And these professors bring their faith to inform their discipline, I think, in a really fantastic way. So is that something that's important to you? So you'd be able to be in an environment where you can both grow in your faith through things like, chapels that happen weekly, day of prayer, which are days in the semester we give students off from classes to specifically learn about the power of prayer and to pray as a community over a number of different things. Late night worship sessions. These are just a few to name a few examples on how Providence really tries to help support you in your faith, but in academics as well. So to be able to grow in both those areas, I think if those are important to you, I think Providence could be a really great fit. Importantly too, are you interested in going to a university that is going to actually help you explore different perspectives, to be challenged? The phrase that we have at Providence is that we like to train difference makers. So we want to help make sure that you grow in character and in faith so that you can be a leader in your community. Knowledge and character for leadership and service. So the question is too, are you up for the challenge? I hope so. So as I mentioned, Providence, there's lots of opportunities to be challenged, to grow, to be excellent in both your faith and in your degree and in your career after that. But you're not doing it alone. You have a lot of support. You have a lot of people cheering for you at Providence. First and foremost, the enrollment team. Somebody like myself. We're here to walk through the entire admission, application, enrollment phases with you. Every single step of the way, helping you. And even beyond that, into your first year, we're also here to help cheer you on, answer questions, troubleshoot for you wherever possible. We also offer free academic tutoring, and importantly too, we offer free counseling for all of our students as well. Free and completely anonymous, which I always encourage students to consider doing because this is a stage where there's lots of different changes. So I'm really pleased that we're able to do that, offer that to students, and actually on campus as well, so you don't have to worry about leaving. Of course, we also have student leadership teams. These are your peers who are going to help navigate questions as to where to find classrooms, how to best use the online resources in our library, these sorts of things. Further, if you are going to be living in residence, which, like I say, was some of the best years of my life, I'd really encourage it. We are actually really pleased to also say that we have a faculty in residence. So what this is actually one of our faculty, one of our professors and his family actually living in one of the residence buildings with you. So Dr. Nicholas Greco and his family, they plan fun events, board game nights, movie nights, all sorts of fun events. They even host dinners in their apartment for students. If you're ever feeling a little bit homesick or you need a little bit of help, the faculty and residents is just another support that Providence loves to offer for our students. I kind of have mentioned this a couple of times, but your professors really, really do care about you. Not only do they want to make sure that you do well in their class, but that you're prepared for what comes after, both in terms of, like I say, your faith, but also especially in terms of your academics as well. And of course, at Providence, you should also expect that there are lots of resources for spiritual mentorship and growing in your faith as well. So like I say, you're not walking through this alone at Providence, but you have a whole host of people cheering you on and lifting you up. So now, as I mentioned, these are all the things that Providence offers for students, but of course the most important one is what you can study here at Providence. So I'm just going to take a couple quick moments to briefly walk through. We have lots and lots of program options and lots of options for postgraduate programs like teaching, medicine, those sorts of things. But I'll go through and highlight just some of our programs really, really quickly. But again, if I don't answer any questions specifically during this info session, please check out the website. We have all sorts of amazing videos and resources specific to the programs as well. So our fastest growing program is the Bowler School of Business. So this is where you can study business administration. You have an option for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. And in addition to it being taught in the newest wing of Providence, but again, with small class sizes, you should expect a very different type of business education from a lot of big universities. For example, one of your main classrooms is actually just a brand new state-of-the-art boardroom. So this is one of the ways that our business students actually get experience and get comfortable in a corporate or business setting. One of the other unique features of the program is that it offers students a wide variety of business disciplines that they get to sort of sample. Marketing, economics, financial accounting, management, international business, small business, NGOs, entrepreneurship, just to name a few. It goes on and on. But the idea is that we get to help you discover what it is about business specifically that makes you passionate. I mean, another great feature of the business program is the fact that on campus, we actually offer a number of different businesses that are entirely run by business students. So that way, by the time they graduate, our business students can write on their CV that they have 3 or 4 years management experience, which is another competitive advantage that we like to give. Okay, I can talk for ages about business, but moving on, obviously being a Christ-centered university, we offer a couple different courses if you want to pursue a career in the church or parachurch areas. So biblical and theological studies is exactly what it sounds like. It's an in-depth degree designed to help you understand the Bible, interpretations of it. You even get to learn some Greek. So that you can continue your studies if you wanted to go on to like a pastoring role, or even research or professorship for that sort of thing. Now, I should also mention, within every single Providence University degree, we require that our students take a certain number of biblical and theological studies courses. So even if you're studying, for example, church ministries obviously, but even business, you are going to be taking a certain number of Bible courses. That way, no matter what a Providence student has studied, they have a firm foundation of a biblical understanding. So, of course, we also have a degree. It's different in a number of ways. A church ministries degree at Providence. So this is if you have sort of like a specific calling, you think, to work in a church or in a ministry area. So this is a little bit less intensive in terms of biblical study and interpretation and these sorts of things, and helps incorporate other disciplines. For example, some business classes if you feel like you are called to work in more of an administrative role, or youth ministry or children's ministry, music ministry, these sorts of things. This is more what that degree is for. Our newest program at Providence, and one I'm particularly fond of, is our Bachelor of Health Sciences program. We also have a Bachelor of Science program in biology as well. So as I mentioned, this is the newest program that we offer, which means that we have brand new state-of-the-art lab facilities. In addition to that, with small class sizes right around 14, 15 students as well, you're really going to be able to benefit from the expertise of our awesome and very knowledgeable professors. Now, these degrees are aimed to help get students directly into the workforce, or if they wanted to continue on to, programs like medicine, physiotherapy, athletic therapy, even like some nursing prerequisites, dentistry in some cases, these sorts of things. Any of these degrees, the Bachelor of Health Sciences is designed to help get you a foothold and help launch you into those sorts of careers. Humanities. A lot of you might ask, what is humanities? But I'll basically break it down into it's the study of aspects of human culture, like English literature, like what I studied, history, philosophy. These are the humanities. So of course you have the option to study these at Providence. I'm also pretty particularly fond of them as being an English literature major. I mean, for example, in one of my upper level English courses, one of our lecturers was actually attending a book launch with some local authors, where I actually got to meet one of my heroes in poetry, in Canadian poetry. I got to share a flatbread pizza with him. And so it's that type of experience and exposure, real life experience that the humanities can offer you. Communications and media as well. So if you're looking to get into a career in television, radio, print media, anything like that, or pursue a professorship with this as a stepping stone, this is a great option for you. Our communications and media students also run our Providence news show that we run called the Menno. Intercultural studies. So this is exactly what it sounds like. It's the opportunity for students to engage with other cultures. Now, Providence, we're actually very fortunate to have a number of different countries represented in our student body. So there's lots of practical experience there. But this is also a stepping stone to working with for example, like the UN or different NGOs or development companies, things like that. Providence, we're also very pleased to offer you a Bachelor of Social Work degree. Now, this is in partnership with Booth University in Winnipeg. But if you wanted to do a full 4-year degree, you can get your start with us here at Providence. It's pretty incredible. I've heard it's a very tough line of work, but it's one of the most important ones, especially as you can see in Winnipeg. All right, so TESOL, this is the question I get all the time. What is that? Well, this stands for Teaching English to Speakers of Other Languages. And here at Providence, you have a couple options. You can do a 1-year certificate or a full 3-year degree. And this is exactly what it learns like, exactly what it sounds like, pardon me. So a lot of our students will use this degree to actually travel a fair bit. If you do a 3-year degree, part of your TESOL experience is actually getting a live teaching practicum in a different country. So we've had students travel all around from South Korea, Brazil, Romania, pretty much anywhere you can imagine there's a need for people to want to learn English. And so you have the opportunity to study that here at Providence. And of course, our most distinctive program is our aviation program. So this is with a partnership at Harv's Air in Steinbach, which provides students with everything they need to be a professional pilot. And the great thing here is that we cater to students who have all sorts of different career goals, be it fly into a fishing lodge or to work more in the commercial aviation industry for the large corporations. You have the opportunity here at Providence. One of the great things too is we call it the keystone class of this program is a advanced navigation lab, which what it basically means is that over the reading week in February, our 2nd, 3rd, and 4th year aviation students have the opportunity to fly all the way from Steinbach down to San Diego and back. So you can imagine between, 8 and 16 aviation students, like right around 8 planes, all going on one epic road trip down, learning how to actually communicate with local towers, planning their route around weather patterns and these sorts of things, sleeping over in hotels, and of course, flying directly over the Grand Canyon. It's an incredible experience and provides our students with pretty much the best practical application of their studies as you could ever hope for. This is our aviation program. Now, Providence offers a lot in terms of extracurriculars, but certainly we're becoming very well known for our athletics programs. So at Providence, we have three teams, both men's and women's volleyball, men's and women's basketball, and men's and women's soccer, which also plays futsal, which is like indoor soccer in the winter. And we compete in a number of different leagues, the MCAC, which is tied directly to the CCAA, as well as we have the distinct opportunity to be the only Canadian team to compete in the NCCAA Division II in the States. So our athletes have opportunity to compete not only in Canada, but also to compete for a national title in the States. We have committed coaches, lots of travel opportunity, and a pretty amazing program. So if you're interested in athletics, you should consider Providence as well. So now, just to break it down really quickly, I get asked quite often about entrance requirements. Now, Providence being a smaller school, we like to look at the applicant as a whole, as so much more than just what your grade point average was. But we do some of the main things that you should know when applying to Providence is that we require you, if you're applying from Manitoba, to have English 40S or an English composition 40S, as well as 2 other academic credits at the 40U or 40S level, for a total of 5 40 level credits. Now, this should be pretty similar to a lot of your graduation requirements, but if it isn't, I urge you to reach out to, again, info@prov.ca. And what we're looking for is a minimum grade average in your English class of 67%. Now, if it's below that, you shouldn't worry too much. Like I say, we have a number of different courses designed to help get you up to that level. We just want to make sure that you're able to write comfortably at a university level and set you up for the most amount of success. Now, of course, when we're talking about grades, I have to mention our academic entrance scholarships. So Providence, we're really, really pleased to be able to offer the highest amount of entrance scholarships of any university in Manitoba. And what we do is we take a look at both your grade 11 and your grade 12 grades. So what we'll do is we'll look at your five highest grades from grade 11, come up with an average, and if that average is above 80% or higher, you automatically qualify for an entrance scholarship of $1,500 and up and up and up. And then when you graduate in grade 12, we take a look at your grade 12 grades and do this very same assessment, and if your average is even higher than your grade 11 marks, we give you the higher of the scholarships. So this way, we try to give you the best opportunity to get a good entrance scholarship. Now, if you're like me and math in grade 12 did not go quite so well, you don't have to worry about one course kind of bringing your average down. As I mentioned, we try to give you, we take a look at just your 5 best. And so that's one less thing that you'll have to worry about. So now Providence, as you may see from the graphic, we've been around since 1925. So we're very much a university with a rich tradition and a rich history, but of course we're also a university with an eye on the future. So if you think that Providence, it might be a good fit for you, you can apply completely online. Our application process is entirely digital. So you can apply online at prov.ca/apply, or if you go to our website, on the right-hand side, there should be 3 orange boxes, and one of them is apply, which will take you directly to the application and information. Now, we will also need your transcript, as you can imagine, a look at your grades. And the cool thing is you don't have to wait until you're graduated to actually apply, as we can assess your admission based on your interim grade 12 marks or your grade 11 marks. So now, this has been a really quick look at Providence, and hopefully I've been able to give you a little bit of, some things to think about and some good information, some answers to your questions. But again, if you have any other, please don't hesitate to reach out via phone or email us at info@prov.ca. Thank you very much for sticking with us, and I hope you have a really amazing rest of your day.
Thanks, Dustin, for that informative and entertaining info session. I even think I learned a couple of things. Next up, we'll be taking you for a virtual tour around the Providence campus, where you'll be able to see everything from our dorm rooms to our classrooms and all the best places around campus to hang out. Also, just a reminder to keep asking questions in the chat. Our enrollment team will take the time to answer your questions throughout the day. Now, without further ado, let's see the campus.
Hey, I'm Jamie, and welcome to Providence. We're located in Otterburn, Manitoba, and have over 100 acres of campus. Come with me as I take you on this tour. We'll start in our Buller School of Business, where our business students have the opportunity to gain valuable hands-on experience. Our classrooms also have all the technology needed in order to advance in your studies. As well, our small classroom sizes help to facilitate group engagement and classroom interaction. Our brand new state-of-the-art science lab is a great space to help you develop and practice valuable skills. All of our labs are team-focused and hands-on sessions where you can experience the innovative classrooms and lab spaces. Our courtyard is a beautiful outdoor area where you can take a break in between classes, study, or enjoy some time outside. Our gym is where all of our home sporting events take place. We have over 6 varsity sports teams, both men's and women's volleyball, basketball, and soccer. We are a part of a number of leagues, the MCAC League, which is our Manitoba League, and the NCCAA. So there's lots of opportunity to travel, all the while playing the sport you love. Using your fitness center Prov, you're free to access our workout facility whenever works best for you and your schedule. We have free lifting weights, cardio equipment, and also an Olympic lifting platform. Our library has lots of great resources available, both physical and online, to help you in your research. Although one of our greatest resources are the wonderful librarians, who are here to help you navigate all of the resources available. There are also private study rooms available if you want a more intense study or want to work with a group. All of our classrooms are conveniently located so that you don't have to worry about running 10 minutes to reach your next class. Also, with our small classroom sizes, there's lots of opportunity for you to get to know your classmates and your professors. Join us every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday for chapel. You'll never have a block of class during chapel, so you always have the opportunity to go. For example, Friday chapels are student-led, so you have the opportunity to hear testimonies from your classmates and participate in a time of worship. The lecture theater is the largest classroom at Prov. With 2 smart screens, you can see no matter where you are in the room. As well, with electrical outlets, you never have to worry about losing charge during class. Our Welcome Center is a central location in the Hannah Center. It's also where the enrollment, business, and registrar's offices are all located. So when your tuition is due the first week of classes, this is where you'll come to complete all of those transactions. Also, if you're ever wanting to add a course, drop a course, or have any questions in general, our lovely registrars here are available to help you. The Reimer Student Life Center is a great common space whether you live in residence or you're a commuter. You can take a break in between classes, play some foosball, or relax. The dining hall is also a great space to grab some food. We have over 6 different food stations with a variety of options. The Reimer Student Life Center is also a great space to experience community life, where we host our various coffee houses where you can showcase your talent or experience one of our worship nights. Muriel Taylor Hall is our brand new residence building, which hosts both community living and learning through our various study rooms and classrooms located on the hub floor. The hub floor is also a great space if you want to curl up by the fire, play a game of ping pong, or practice your baking in our brand new kitchen. The top 2 floors of Muriel Taylor Hall are where all of our female residence rooms are. There are also spacious sub-lounges and study rooms for your use at any time. Our male residence iCourse has lots of great common spaces where you can relax, do some group work, or host your next video game competition. All the rooms have 2 beds, 2 closets, a nice long desk, so lots of storage, and also a shared bathroom. Thank you for joining me on this tour of the Providence campus. Our enrollment team is happy to help and answer any questions you may have, so please don't hesitate to reach out at info@prov.ca. We hope to see you on campus soon.
We wish you could be here with us in person to experience the Providence campus. But we hope the virtual tour gave you a better sense of what campus life is like and helped you to envision yourself as a Providence student. Now, we understand that choosing a university can be quite the chore. It can seem like a tough decision figuring out how your education can play into the career that you want. So next, Jen, who is also an enrollment officer, will take us through how to find a program that fits your career goals.
Hi, thank you for taking the time to join me for today's session. I'm so glad that you can be here. My name is Jen Lundy, and I'm an enrollment officer at Providence University College. Today, I would like to talk to you about choosing the program that is fit for you. So you might be the type of person who has always known what you want to do and you have things figured out. But you also might be the type of person who has no idea what they want to do. Or maybe you have an idea, but you're just not quite sure how to get to that end goal. So I'm hoping to be able to help you out no matter where you're at in your journey. When you first start looking at programs and career paths, things might be a little confusing. So I want to start with a few basics. For some of you, this will be information you already know, and for others, this will be brand new. When considering a career, you'll need to be aware of what level of education you need. So this is something that you can research online. There's lots of online resources, and you can just put in a Google and you will easily and quickly find out what end degree that you need to accomplish your career goals. So I just want to give you a quick overview of the different levels of education. So post-secondary education, it can be split up into about 3 general areas. So you have your undergraduate level, your graduate level, and your doctoral. So in your undergrad, this is what you'll be entering into immediately after high school. You have certificate programs, which are 1 to 2 years, diploma, which are 2 to 3 years, or degree, which are 3 to 4 year programs. So for example, some degree programs are business, accounting, social work, social sciences, theology, communications, and psychology. There are other levels of a bachelor degree that are kind of a post-bachelor degree. So this is something that you'll actually need a bachelor's degree to enter into, but they're not classified as a master's degree. For example, your Bachelor of Education. So if you're wanting to be a teacher, you have to have a bachelor's degree first. For graduate level, this requires that you have a bachelor's degree already, and is often referred to as a master's degree. But there is also a graduate certificate, which is a 1-year program. Master's degrees are usually 2 to 3 years in length. And examples of some of these are occupational therapy, physiotherapy, counseling, or your MBA, a Master's in Business Administration. For postgraduate, this is usually where people start looking at doctoral work. Often if you're looking at becoming a doctor in any field, you'll have to take a thesis track in your master's degree. There's also postgraduate certificates, which are 1 year, and then doctoral degrees, which can vary in length, but are usually around 3 years. So for example, registered psychologist, a medical doctor, or a doctor in ministry. So mapping to your dream job from your program. For some careers, this is an obvious choice, but for other careers, it's not so straightforward. For example, like I mentioned before, if you're interested in becoming a teacher, you'll need a bachelor's degree that covers your teachables. So this is math or English or history. At Providence, we actually have 2 different bachelor's degrees that would work towards this: interdisciplinary arts or humanities. So once you have your initial bachelor's degree, then you can take your Bachelor of Education. Or if you're interested in nursing, a nursing degree seems like the obvious path, but you might need some prerequisite courses, which you can accomplish at Providence in 1 year. If you're interested in being a lawyer, you'll actually need 2 years worth of undergraduate courses, so that's 60 credit hours, in order to enter the law program. And these 2 years can be done at Providence. You can specify your courses to cover areas of law that you might be interested in, such as business or psychology, specifically forensic psychology. And all of our enrollment officers have the skills to help you choose the right program for your dream job. Now, maybe you aren't even sure what your dream job is. There are many ways to figure this out. It might be overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. Keep in mind that your first career doesn't have to be your forever career. Many people choose programs that they want to change later in their life, and they do a career change as their interests and their strengths change, and they have different career paths in mind later on. So some tips to help you choose are: 1, figure out what your likes and your dislikes are. What are things you're already interested in, and do any of those things relate to a career? For example, do you like to write? Maybe taking a communications degree for journalism or English literature to become an author. Do you like learning about the environment, or are you interested in health-related things? Maybe a science degree is up your alley. Or do you love helping others? Are you a people person? Social sciences such as psychology, sociology, or social work might just be a great fit for you. Some other things to look at are your strengths and weaknesses. A really easy and quick way to find out where these are is to look at your current grades in high school. Which are the subjects that you're doing better at, and which are the ones you're not doing so great at? This will give you a strong indication as to what your strengths and weaknesses are. If that's not helpful, ask people you trust, your parents, your grandparents, your friends, or your teachers. And ask people who care about you and have an interest in your success. And they'll be able to help you figure out where your strengths lie and where your weaknesses lie, which can give you a good idea of what areas to pursue. Another way to look at it is, what is your personality? There are lots of online resources to figure out what your personality is, and lots of time personalities are linked to certain career paths. So you can go online, try a few different personality tests, and take a look at what the lists of careers are possible to you, and maybe choose something that looks the most interesting. So at Providence, you'll be able to attain the following degrees: Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Business Administration, a Bachelor of Science, and a Bachelor of Theology. I'm going to list the degree options for each of these and possible career paths for each one. This is not an exhaustive list, so if I don't mention the career that you're interested in, don't worry, we can help you figure that out. Or you can take a look at our program guide, which you can find on our website. It's under Undergraduate View Books under the Admissions tab. For Bachelor of Arts, we have our aviation degree. So if you're interested in being a flight instructor, airline pilot, missionary pilot, or a medvac pilot, this is something you're going to want to look at. Biblical and theological studies. So if you're looking at being a Christian professor, a pastor, or a chaplain. Church ministries, which is very similar. So teacher, counselor, youth pastor, worship leader. These are all paths under our church ministries degree. Communication and media. So if you're interested in being a journalist, a graphic designer, marketer, or an editor, plus more. Humanities. So in our humanities degree, you will pick 2 tracks. out of English, history, and philosophy. And out of those 2 tracks will kind of determine what your career path is, whether it's a teacher, a writer, a historian, or a missionary. Intercultural studies, if you're interested in global missions, foreign affairs, or international business. Interdisciplinary arts. So similar to humanities, you would pick a few of the tracks. So social sciences, math, science, or humanities. So you would pick 2 or 3 of these to focus on in your time at Prov. If you're interested in becoming a teacher, a researcher, or a humanitarian. Our psychology degree. So if you're wanting to be a social worker, a teacher, a counselor, or a child advocate. Our social science degree combines all the social sciences, so you'll cover psychology, sociology, and anthropology in this degree. So this is if you're interested in social justice, humanitarian workers, teacher, or counselors. Sociology, very similar to psychology and social science. If you're interested in being a counselor, a victim advocate, or family studies. And finally, our TESOL degree. So if you want to be an English language teacher, adult language teacher, interested in immigrant services, or being a missionary. Next, we have our Bachelor of Business Administration. So if you're wanting accounting, sales management, if you're interested in having your own business, or being a financial consultant, this is where you want to study. Our Bachelor of Science has 2 areas that you can focus on, either general biology or our 4-year health sciences degree. So if you're interested in being a biologist, a lab assistant, medical doctor, or rehabilitation services, a nurse, or maybe a pharmacist, even environmentalist or agricultural research, our science degrees are where you want to look. And finally, our Bachelor of Theology. So under this, a lot of these are fairly similar, but there's Christian education, church administration, and pastoral ministry. So if you're interested in being in ministry as a pastor, a church administrator, or a teacher, this is where you want to look. Now, you might be looking at all these options and think, I'm interested in 2 areas equally, and I don't know how to choose between the 2. The good news is you don't have to choose. So there is the option of taking a double major. That's where you can combine 2 areas of study into 1 degree. For example, many of our aviation students take aviation and business because they're interested in creating their own aviation business or managing one. Actually, adding business as a second major to any degree really opens up your options if you're interested in business at all. Or maybe you want to broaden your understanding of people to help you be a better pastor or a better counselor. You can add psychology or sociology to any of our degrees. And this will help you engage in the position you are entering into with a better understanding of people. One of the things you should know that is, as a student at Providence, you will be assigned an academic advisor. These are our faculty members, and they help you along during your time at Prov, choose courses, and make the right decisions to get you the education that you need. If at some point you realize that a certain subject or major isn't the right fit for you, and maybe you've fallen in love with a different area of study, our academic advisors will help you change your program and navigate that change. Our goal is always in your best interest and your outcomes. So these are just a few examples of the possibilities. And I know I've thrown a lot of information at you, but I wanted to give you a general idea of what is available at Providence. So we have a whole team of enrollment officers who can help you along in this journey of choosing your program and reaching your career goals. So if you have questions, we're here to help. And I would strongly encourage you to get in touch with any of us so that we can answer those questions, help you get the clarity you need so you can move forward. You can always reach any of us by emailing info@prov.ca or going to our website, prov.ca. That's all I have for you today, and I hope you found this helpful, and I look forward to seeing you at Prov soon. See you.
Thank you so much, Jen, for guiding us through ways to find a program that fits your career goals. Next, we have Dami, a student here at Providence who has vlogged what life is like as a Providence student, giving us the opportunity to gain an inside look at student life. Can't wait to watch. Take it away, Dami. Hello.
My name is Dami Aviona. Actually, my full name is Jesu Dami Lola, Nurella Lorella, Emanuela Bucola Rachel Aviona, but I just go by Dami. I am a first year student here at Prov. I am originally from Calgary, Alberta, but I moved here to Manitoba for school. And it has been the best decision I have ever made. I will show you guys what I kind of do throughout my week. I am involved in quite a bit, so I'm excited to film it for you guys. Right now, I am going up these stairs to my floor. I am on the second floor, and I live there with some of my pod mates, and they are some amazing people. So I use my key card to scan, and in the door we go. Welcome to my room. Coffee is immaculate. It's so nice, things like this, having coffee with friends in dorm rooms. Corona can't restrict that. Hello, so right now I am in one of the study rooms. This is what it looks like. There's a whiteboard. And I am doing some homework. I'm heading over to my worship band practice that starts at 8, and it is in the Hannah Center. So I'll show you guys what that looks like, and I'll show you guys what my practice looks like. This is the member of our group. We're just missing one person. But yes, this is our director. Next. Hello. And then that is Leighton. What up? And then that is... Why did I choose Prov? All my life I have felt the need and urge to become a social worker. Ever since grade 7, I've just felt that being around people and helping people has been my calling here in life. And so since then, I have been looking for a place where I would be able to pursue that. I was looking through Christian universities and I found Prov. I love what this school stood for with their faith and community statements. Loved the way the classes worked, loved the way the community looked, and so I got definitely drawn into it. I have also been loving the social life here. It's actually been very booming, very poppin'. I am also, being the eager beaver I am, love to get involved, so I am involved in the worship band for chapels, and I also work in the library. So I have been kind of put into some different aspects of what Prov community life can be like, and it's really fun seeing new people. Even though we have masks on and we have to social distance, the community and the value that we have towards each other has not changed or been minimalized, and I think that is absolutely amazing. And Prov is doing such a fantastic job with keeping up the rules and regulations and what needs to be done, but also making sure that it's fun and interactive so that we don't get bored here on campus. So far, Prov has just been an amazing place. It has been helping me so much with my spiritual growth. I have been reading textbooks and reading the readings for class and having questions, but then also getting the answers in class, which is so cool, because before, if I was by myself, I'd be trying to get those answers myself, but it's the answers that I have been getting have been coming from the teachings, from my professors, and also from the discussions and talks with some of my friends. Providence has been such a blessing, and it's only been 1 month, and so much has happened, and I've made amazing friendships, and I'm so excited to see where these next 4 years take me. I think if as much has happened just in this 1 month as it's going to happen in the next 4 years, I don't think I'll ever get bored of this place. This place is absolutely amazing. Okay, bye.
We had a great time hanging out with you all this morning. I hope you were able to get a better understanding of what Providence is all about, and that it got you pumped to come see us in person. We'll be taking a break for lunch, but after, we'll be having our Choose Your Own Adventure style Zoom sessions, where you can pick and choose what you want to learn more about.
I am so excited for the afternoon sessions, as there will be more opportunity for you to learn about financing your education, student life, how Providence helps you transition from high school to university, and you'll even be able to hear directly from current students about their program and experience at Providence.
Man, all this excitement has made me ready for lunch.
Me too. But before we head into lunch, I just wanted to remind you that if you want a chance to win the $500 bursary, there's a form that you can fill out in the chat feature. Also, we still want to stay connected, so in spirit of our amazing cafeteria, which has over 5 different food stations, we want you to post a pic on your Instagram story of your amazing lunch. Then follow and tag at Prov Admissions and at Prov Manitoba for a chance to win a Skip the Dishes gift card.
We hope you have a great lunch and cannot wait to see you all at 1:30 for the Zoom sessions. See you soon!